Hi, this is Josh, and this is a little review and overview of SimCity for the Nintendo DS. I picked this up a few days ago over here in Japan and thought you might like to have a look. Now, for the most part, I'm going to be comparing this game to SimCity 2000. Just what I'm most comfortable comparing it with. Also, I can't read everything and had to have a lot of help with certain areas for translations. Just a little forewarning, so don't criticize me for not being able to read everything properly. Now here we are at the main screen. You can see quite a few different options we have. Build a city, museum, post office, tutorials, save the city, and over there is the advisor, which you'll be seeing all the time. Way too much of the time. But first off, let's look at tutorials. In case you've forgotten how to play SimCity or you're a newcomer to the game, tutorials is a good place to help you refresh all that SimCity knowledge you'll need to build a proper community. It's divided into quite a few different areas. Trash, water, basic public works. It's all there. Clicking on one brings you up to a little scenario where the game runs you through how to play and what does what. Inside each separate tutorial, you'll be given some instructions, rundowns of what does what. In this one I'm placing a school somewhere, and I will eventually place it. If you know how to play the game or have played SimCity in the past, any SimCity, you don't need to do this. It's pretty easy. Let's build a new city. And I'll eventually click on it. There I go. And you have a couple different options. Reload your last city or make a new one. I've clicked on make a new city. And I'm going to name my city Fuku. You can, in the Japanese version I have, you can name things with English characters or Japanese characters. I've chosen the English characters. And my name Josh. Here you can pick different landscapes to build your city on. Each landscape has a set amount of money that you start out with. To be honest, this doesn't really matter all that much, at least for the landscape. You can bulldoze over water. So you don't really need to worry about certain areas of land, just pick one with a lot of cash. Now here's your bottom screen of the DS. As you'll notice, your advisor is giving a lot of helpful new information. She'll be giving you lots and lots of information whether you like it or not throughout the entire gameplay. Now I'm just going to click through all this and ignore it because it's not that important, at least for me. Now as you notice, the bottom screen shows an overview of the map. You can move your cursor around and you can get different shots of the land. The top screen shows, well, the landscape. If there are houses or cities or stuff built there, it would show it. The top screen always shows an overview of the landscape. You have time, you have the name of your city, you have money, you have people, you have the demand for different types of things, and your public approval, you have your mail, and you have zoom in, and then the pause play button. Now if you want to zoom in and mess with an area, you can click on that little tiny circle there, and it takes you to this view. This is a grid view, and you have some more options to mess with. From left to right on the bottom, you have the cancel button, helpful when you place something in the wrong spot. You have the, well, touch to move, but you hit that, you can just follow your cursor around. You have get info, which gives you info on the lock, whether it be a house or just nothing right there. And then you have this Y, which gets rid of everything else around and gives you a nice clean view of, well, the area. Now up on the left you have your different options for building or your managing city. You have, of course, your first options are the different things you can build. Next is your balance sheet, taxes, how much you're spending on each individual item. Overall, just city expenses. Next is your data. This is just different maps, and clicking on these options here will show you pollution, fire damages, water supply, electric supply, crime, all that fun stuff. And if you can read it, even more helpful. Next, well, this is your graph area. Just tells you graphs for population, money, basic SimCity graphs. System stuff, you can change your options and settings right there. And last, this is your mail. You get little messages every now and then from, well, the city, from people. It tells you what's going on. Now back at this other screen, if you click on one of these options like the city name, or your money, or your population, you'll get this other option. That just takes you to a quick viewing of one of these other sub options. Click on money, it will take you to your balance sheet. click on the population, it'll take you to your graphs. Much easier way to get around if you need to get to a certain area quickly from your main screen. Clicking on your advisor, she'll hand out helpful information, which you probably don't really want to do because she'll just be giving you all that fun-filled advice all the time. Now let's build a city. Click on that little circle there, we zoom into the grid mode, or the building mode, whatever you want to call it. This grid is basically like the grid you'd find in SimCity 2000, 3000, or SimCity 4. If you played any of those games before, it's the exact same thing. This you just click and you drag. Here I'm going to build a road by, well, pressing down and dragging quite a distance. The use of the touch interface works perfectly here. It's a match made in heaven. Clicking and dragging and moving things around, amazingly simple. It's just no other way to put it. It's a really great combination, a great system. I'm really happy they did this. Now if I mess up, I can always of course bulldoze things. Again, you can click and you can drag to bulldoze a larger area. Very, very easy. Now if you screw up, there is that undo button down there, the X. Pretty good. Like SimCity 2000 and up, you have your different levels of zoning. Heavy industrial, light industrial, medium industrial. Same thing for commercial and residential. Exactly the same thing. And I'm just clicking and dragging. The way you lay out your city is your own business, none of mine. I'm just doing a quick little mini city here. As I move along, I built more roads, more cities. If you notice in the top up there, there's little green spots. Those are trees. You actually have to bulldoze over those to build anything on them. A little annoying at times. Now I use the click and drag option here just because it's easier for me with the camera. Usually I use the directional pad to move things. Just letting you know you can use the directional pad. Like in the other SimCities, you need to put down water. Water pumps, water towers, etc. But unlike the other SimCities, there is no pipe view. You can't lay large amounts of pipes around your city. Pipes are automatically laid when you put down a road. So things touching each other through a road get water. It's just one of the simplicities they've made in this game. Here I'm putting down some essential services like police and fire. Again, you just click and drop. Things go green when you can actually put stuff down, red when you're in the no-no for putting stuff down. Just like the other SimCities, it's a very, very easy, basic way they've been doing things for quite a long time. It's been rather refined. I like it. It works out well on the DS. Once you're done, you can come to this other view and see what you've actually put down. Notice nothing's built there yet because I haven't hit the, well, unpause button. You can zoom in and get a much better view. When I do finally hit the play pause button, you'll see I'm, well, doing pretty well. Things are starting to build right away, and then people start to move in. I'll start to get taxes. I'll start to, of course, lose money right away because I'm paying for services and have no income coming in. Now, if you notice in the bottom there, I forgot to point this out before, that's like a news ticker. It tells you news and information, what people want. As you can see right there, my approval rating's going up because I actually built things. I have a population, and I have a negative amount of cash because I had no money coming in when the month came to an end. Every so often, your advisor will ask you to click on her, and you can accept an invitation to take an audience with somebody in the community. This guy just says, hey, you've got 100 people. Other people offer their advice on the education system, like this Japanese schoolgirl, or they demand different items in the community. Many of them are stereotypical Japanese people, such as this Japanese Oba-san. She looks so Japanese, it's not even funny. Usually I ignore these people, as they really give me no information I don't already know about my city. Sometimes they just let you know when improvements have come along. My favorite, which is the last one to see here, is the Japanese otaku, which I find amazingly funny and amazingly geeky. If you know what otaku means, well, more power to you. To break up the monotony every now and then, if you do the right things, you'll get WarioWare-esque games, like this UFO stealing my citizens, and I can Click to get them out. Another one I've run across are fireworks that pop up and you click on them and they explode. Very, very fun breaks from, well, the monotony. You'll also notice disasters will happen every now and then if you actually have the disaster option on. The most annoying, which is the random fire in an area where you actually have nothing built, on a tree in the middle of nothing. Earthquakes, not so much fun. But what you expect from a game based in Japan. Now to save your city, which you'll want to do every now and then, is this top right hand option up there. Click on yes and your city will be saved. Then it'll ask you at the end if you want to continue playing or if you want to go back to the main menu. Whichever you choose. It'll write it to your card. All is well. Here you have the Save the City option. These are just 8 different scenarios where you have to help a city that's in need. And clicking in a different part of Japan will give you a different scenario. I will click on my part of Japan. Here I must make the city have 130,000 people, fix the power problems, something of that atonement. The scenarios are varied and they're kind of fun if you need some work on your SimCity options, or if you want to see everything that can be built in the future, because options aren't unlocked until you've come across that date in history. So I'm just building some power plants, if I had enough money, which I don't. It also gives you some ideas on how to better lay out your cities, different options, and road management skills. They're kind of helpful for you if you need a refresher course on how to make a large, bountiful city. Next thing I'll be showing you is the post office feature, which I can't really show you fully as no one else I know owns a DS with SimCity. From what I understand is you can beam over monuments and special buildings you've unlocked to other people with the game, which I'm trying to connect to right here, but there's no one around and I'm just going to click cancel. I'm sure it's a very fun-filled and interesting feature. No, it does not connect to the internet. It has to be person to person. The next option you can choose here is the museum option. This is a rundown of all the buildings and other things you've unlocked and what their different characteristics and abilities are. The bottom screen gives you a list and you can see some of them are question mark because I haven't actually unlocked them yet. The top screen shows you, well, what they are and their statistics, overall information, how many people work there, how much they cost each month for you to keep up. The information that you should be getting with a question mark, but the question mark option in the game doesn't actually give you. A small annoyance, which I don't really care about most of the time. The second option you have in this area is the landmark option on the right. These shows the landmarks that you pick up by completing the different Save the City scenarios. These are various historical landmarks from around the world, real life things. Kind of fun. I don't have any because I've yet to complete any. You can trade them back and forth through the wireless option or type a password in to unlock them, which I haven't done. Sorry about that. Lastly, there's the options button, which you can actually access in-game. Disasters, animations, sound, that kind of fun stuff. Also the all-important delete all data on the game card option in the bottom. Don't click that one. Trust me. Here are a few thoughts about the game, things I've noticed after playing it for several hours. First thing, I horribly dislike the fact there are only 4 road transportation options. Road, bus stop, which you actually don't get till like 1920, railroad, and railroad station. Notice how many things they have for power here to unlock. How many water things they have you can unlock. There's really no good road options. Highway maybe, guys? Subway, would it be that much to kill you for subway? Or maybe a parkway. Something that I think they probably could include in the game. It's one major annoyance I have when playing. The probably largest annoyance in this game, which prevents it from being, well, mostly perfect, is saving. The game does not autosave, ever. Which means unless you click that save button, if someone turns off your DS or you run out of power at 2 AM after playing the game for several hours in a row and building a nice city, you lose it all. It's gone. Nothing. Also, you can only save one city to your SimCity card. That's that right, one city. Why? I don't know. You have all those different landscape options. I assumed you could make more than one city, but no. One city and one city only. Build a new city, delete the old. Now, notice something about this game. What's missing from this game if it was a clone of SimCity 2000? The thing you would notice would be terrain level. There is none in this game. Japan, according to this game, is completely flat. which I can tell you, it's not. Terrain would have been a nice option to have. I can understand if they had to leave out a few things because of the DS's limitations, but terrain would have been a really, really nice feature to have, especially since water can be bulldozed over. What's the point of having water when you can just bulldoze it completely over for like $7? I don't understand. The only other minor thing I dislike is the fact that you can't choose what time to start in, time era. You have to start at 1900, which means it takes a really, really, really long time to move up to any substantial time period where you get new cool technology. By 1930, your city should be completely full of stuff, if not much before then. Come on, Japan, move along a bit quicker. If it wasn't for the whole one city only option and these not auto-saving, which made me lose stuff, this game as a whole almost completely perfect for the DS. The winning combination of touch-based gameplay and SimCity makes for a match made in heaven. I imagine on any other console-based system, it would be nowhere near as fun. The hardware keeps up with the gameplay itself is nearly endless, as in any SimCity game, and you'll find it to be as much fun as playing SimCity on a computer. You'll have to import this game from Japan. I could not find any release date information for North America, Europe, or even this game in English. What you see is what you get for language options, guys. I would recommend importing it from play-asia.com, but only if you have a good grasp of Japanese, a Japanese neighbor or friend you can pester, or a very good dictionary around, and lots of free time, because SimCity will eat it all up. If you have any questions, you can, well, post a message or Google it. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. An additional update, while doing research for a blog article on the game, I came across info that there's a possible June release date in English for North America and Europe. Just something to keep in mind in case you don't want to import it, and lots of Japanese characters. Thanks for watching again, and sorry about not including this in the main video.